Fed fans, get ready. Roger Federer getting ready to go against Richard Gasquet. In my opinion, again, it's just what the doctor ordered. These are the type of players, if you're a Fed fan, you want Federer playing. Federer 18-2 against Richard Gasquet. Gasquet kind of heavy topspin off both sides. In my opinion, not really a great grass court player. In my opinion, at this point in his career, not a lot of weapons that can hurt Roger Federer. These are all the same things, though, I was saying about his match with Adrian Mannarino, because when you looked at it on paper, Federer, throughout his whole career, had wiped the floor with Mannarino. And if you're a Federer fan, you have to admit you feel pretty darn lucky that Federer got through that first round match. And that first round match, for me at least, let me know what you think. Comment in the live stream, comment below. If you're watching this on replay, it left me with more questions than answers, or maybe it gave me the answers I didn't quite want to accept and I'm not willing to accept yet. And that is that Roger Federer at this point is nowhere near his top form, where he needs to be to actually win this tournament. That's the bad news. The good news is if you look at his draw, if he can keep working his way through this draw, getting through somehow, he doesn't really face anybody with any major weapons until he gets to maybe Medvedev. And who even knows if Medvedev is going to get there, because he's been a little bit of a wild card, although he did look good in his first round and he looked good in the warm-up tournament beforehand. So maybe Medvedev is feeling better on the grass. He's ready to compete. We know that when Medvedev is ready to compete and bring it, he's a very, very tough competitor to beat out there. So what we have, it's going to be a battle of the backhands, baby. Gasquet with no chance, fed in 3 sets. Roger gave unforced error clinic in his first match. That's absolutely true. In his first round match, Roger is just so shaky right now. This is a match, again, that Federer, if he is playing Roger Federer tennis, if he's playing confident, if he's playing the king of grass style tennis, then he would have no problem with Gasquet. There's nothing that can really hurt him. It should be a clinic that Federer puts on. But like we had here, a nice comment is that Federer, he put on an unforced error clinic. Okay, and Joel says, I hate you. Maybe Joel should go get a life, okay? Maybe, Joel, you need to go get a life. I don't know why you hate me so much. All right, since you said the Uniqlo curse, it's been happening. Okay, well, yes, I did kind of say the Uniqlo curse. I don't like when big stars change their uniforms that have been working so well for them. McEnroe switched from Sergio Tacchini to Nike. His career was never quite the same. Federer in 4 or 5 sets. I don't even know what to predict, okay? I just know what I hope for. I hope that Federer, when you win a match like he won against Mannarino, just like I was saying Djokovic, people kind of mistook that the wrong way. I was saying Djokovic got to feel very, very fortunate to get through when he was down 2 sets at the French Open, and he came back and he won that match against Musetti. You feel fortunate that you got through. And maybe it's a joke. Okay, thank you. You never know. You never know on YouTube. But anyway, Djokovic came back. It was a new lease on life. He kept playing better and better. That coming back from 2 sets, I think almost like grew his mystique that, dude, you can't knock this guy out. And I think Djokovic felt very fortunate and like, okay, I'm not going to lose now. Nothing can knock me out of this tournament. And that's the way Djokovic went about the rest of the French Open. Federer, is he feeling that after winning when he was down 2 sets to 1, got to the 5th set? Who knows what was going to happen the 5th set? And then an unfortunate thing for Mannarino getting injured, but a lucky thing for Federer as far as this winning, not having to play a point in the 5th set, not having to find out what he's made of in the 5th set. Is he feeling lucky in that, okay, now I can keep finding my form? Or, when you're not playing well, and even when you win, if you're winning ugly all the time, it doesn't build your confidence. You just kind of feel like, man, whether I'm winning or I'm losing, it just doesn't feel good out here. I don't feel like myself, and your confidence can actually plummet. Even though you won, you can go out there and be even more shaky the next match. And I I kind of think that that's where Fed is right now. I think when Federer steps on the court right now, he does not know what he's going to get. He has no idea when the magic is going to return. And even if it returns for a couple of games, then all of a sudden he can go into like a slump where he's in a shank slump, where he's shanking a bunch of mishits and unforced errors. And that's just where he is right now, guys. There's no way to spin it. There's no way to spin this. Is Federer, up until this point, is not playing like Roger Federer, who can win Wimbledon, okay? Especially when you look at the clinic. If anybody did put on a clinic, it's Novak Djokovic. He is showing that he is stepping right onto the grass court where he left off at the French Open. He's highly confident. His timing is impeccable. I was saying that yesterday. Again, people kind of misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm saying yesterday was a big test for Novak Djokovic. Why wouldn't I say that? He played somebody who got to the Wimbledon finals. Kevin Anderson, one of the biggest servers of all time. If Kevin Anderson, in theory, serves amazing on grass, it should present a big problem to Novak Djokovic. What happened? The opposite happened. Novak came on out and won 6-3, 6-3, 6-3. And as dominant as that was, it wasn't even that close. I mean, Novak was just so in form, on fire. Not one unforced error in the second set, guys, on grass. And like the commentators were saying, it's not like Djokovic was just pushing the ball around. No, he's playing offensive tennis. He's going for his shots. He's hitting the ball crisp and firm and corner to corner, and then also playing very, very smart, consistent tennis down the middle, which, you know, Kevin Anderson just couldn't keep up the rallies with Djokovic yesterday. And Djokovic at times has made the games look so easy. And you know, that's where Federer's got to get to if he's going to even come close to winning this tournament. And I just don't really see it at this point. You never know when the goats are going to turn on. You never know when they're going to feel their game. You know, people were kind of Federer's got a lot less time to do it, but all the Rafa fans were feeling very concerned on the clay. Rafa didn't quite look at him like himself in the beginning of the clay court season. By the end, he was vintage Rafa and just got to the semifinals of the French Open and played a great match against Novak. Novak was just better. Why? Because Novak, in my opinion, is the GOAT. Okay, so let's see this. Let's see what we're saying. Your comments. Comment below too if you're watching the replay. But I want to hear what you guys are thinking of Federer's form. You know, are you feeling good about Federer? Are you feeling that he's going to go out early? But then we'll take a look at his draw, which should give us some hope. A big server can win against Fed in this Wimbledon. Gasquet does not possess the weapons to hurt a Federer. Yeah, but I hear what you're saying. But here's the thing. I don't think Mannarino has a particularly big serve. But he was spot serving incredibly well. And since Federer is so off his game, it's hard for me to know how well Mannarino is serving. When you're watching the serves, you're like, okay, the damn guy is hitting every spot. He's hitting it out wide. He's getting fed in the body sometimes. He's really stretching him down the middle on the deuce side. So he's serving incredibly well, even though I don't really think of Mannarino having a big serve. But Federer made him look like he had an amazing serve. Federer made him look like he had an amazing serve. On the flip side, Novak goes out against Kevin Anderson and makes Kevin Anderson's serve look like nothing. Do you think that if Mannarino went out and played Djokovic in the first round, that Mannarino could make Djokovic look so bad on the return of serve? I mean, Federer just looked helpless at times on returning Mannarino's serve. So, you know, I'm not so sure that even playing, I think his reaction time is just not there right now. I'm hoping, because you look at Gasquet's serve, as far as a professional serve on tour, Gasquet's serve is not something that should put any kind of fear into you. But at this point, I don't know how good Federer is going to return Gasquet's serve. He should be able to get the ball back really easy, get into some rallies, and dominate. That's what should happen today. If that starts to happen, us as Fed fans can start to get a little more confident. If Federer is floundering to get returns back in play and letting Gasquet dictate and shanking balls and dropping serve and dropping sets, man, this is going to be a long Wimbledon for Fed fans. It's going to be a nail biter until he eventually loses. That's what I see. He can't keep going on this way round after round of what we've seen so far in Geneva. At the French Open was better, and what we've seen at Holly. It's just not a recipe for a Grand Slam title, guys. Let's be honest. Tennis pairs brothers. Federer's execution against Manarino was completely off. Intention was still there. Okay. Good comment from the tennis pairs brothers. Roger needs a miracle to reach the final, let alone win the whole thing. I absolutely, unfortunately, I do agree with you. Father Time has caught up with Roger Federer. It might have. It's too soon, I think, to tell. He's still so soon into his return. Let's not forget this, guys. It certainly with Federer being now close to 40, it is easy to start saying that Father Time is caught up, that Roger Federer is done, that he can't make this comeback. But if you remember, I mean, now Djokovic, to me, clearly what he has done in these last couple of years is starting to really separate him as the GOAT. And this year, if he wins Wimbledon, he's at 20. And then he could win the US Open, be at 21. And he can win the Olympics and have a golden slam. At that point, open shut case, Djokovic is the GOAT. He could literally be the GOAT at the end of this year. And if it doesn't happen this year, it's probably going to happen next year. But don't forget this. When he came back from those wrist and shoulder injuries and all those nagging injuries, number one, I don't know if you guys saw this, he was going to retire. He told, there's an article with his wife, and his wife said Djokovic was going to quit. He basically said he was literally done. Then he saw his wife and his kids playing tennis in the backyard, and he went out and played with them, had a great time. It just re-sparked his energy. But why was he thinking of doing that? Because Djokovic, in his comeback, which lasted, remember, he got Agassi as his coach. I mean, it was probably like 2 or 3 solid months of losing the people that, I mean, look where he is now. He's barely losing points. He was struggling to win sets. He was struggling to win games for months. So to just say that Federer is done, there's no way, it's impossible, he's old, he's past his prime, I think we need a little more time to really shut the door on Roger Federer, and we shouldn't really do that. We really shouldn't do that. I mean, for any athlete, no matter what their age is, to be off for as long as he's been off, and to go from a clay court season to a grass court season, it's a big ask for anybody at any age to start playing championship style tennis. Federer said his official comeback starts at Wimbledon. Now, us as overzealous Federer fans, we're taking it as like, this is when he starts winning Grand Slam titles again or competing for it. He didn't necessarily say that. I mean, his intent is to compete for it, because that's what he's used to doing, is used to competing for championships. But he did say, hey, this is where my comeback starts on grass. I'll kind of know where I am in my game when I hit the grass. I think that's what he kind of is trying to tell us. The expectation he's trying to set for us is like, I really can't tell you where my game is out on clay. I really don't have a chance on clay these days. Don't really want to even push my body 5 sets on clay consistently. Let's see what happens when I get to the grass. That will be the start of my comeback. I think that's kind of the expectation he wants to set. Now, for us, we take that as, oh, okay, Wimbledon, this is where he's going to win. Number 21, and hopefully a miracle is going to happen, and Djokovic won't win again, and Rafa won't win again, and he can be the GOAT. That's what Federer fans are kind of praying for, but I think that's pretty unrealistic at this point. Let's read some more comments. Kevin Anderson just 42 aces before the match. Djokovic neutralized that serve. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Djokovic was incredible. Fed needs that 2017 backhand more than ever. Yes. Its reaction time being a step slower due to age and surgery. You might be 100% right there. The backhand slice doesn't have the edge anymore. Forehand not as powerful. So fingers crossed, but no worries today. 3 straight sets. So people out there, the draw is designed in a manner, and the managers of Wimbledon have it in a manner they can push Federer through as deep to the championships. I'm 100% sure Roger will win this match. That's an interesting comment by VJ. I mean, I don't think that the draw is rigged, but man, if you are a conspiracy theorist, and you're kind of like a Novak fan, or you're somebody who wants Roger to lose, you're kind of like, This draw looks really fishy because this is all the players that Federer would absolutely need to play if he's not playing his best and still has a chance to get through. There's no Kyrgios in his way. And to be honest, I mean, a lot of the big names that have a chance, they're dropping like flies anyway. Federer said he'll be careful with his movement, may be the factor as well as not being aggressive, says Joel. So what I want to do right now is I want to look at, first of all, the matchup, Gasquet versus Federer. It's pretty lopsided, as you guys will see. And then we're also going to look at Federer's draw. So we're going to share this. As you guys keep coming in, keep letting me know what your opinion is on Roger Federer's chances to win Wimbledon, to get to the finals. Maybe he could somehow sneak to the finals, not playing his best tennis. Certainly, there's no way he can win Wimbledon if he meets Djokovic, which I don't know how Djokovic would possibly lose after seeing yesterday. I mean, I know that's kind of like maybe premature to just pencil somebody in for the finals, but I mean, watching Djokovic yesterday, who the hell can beat that? I mean, he literally played perfect tennis. So here we are, Federer versus Gasquet. It's 18-2. It's 18-2. Roger, number 8 in the world. Kind of weird for us to see. Richard Gasquet, number 56 in the world. He's kind of been struggling for years now, okay? Richard Gasquet, 10 years ago, maybe even longer than that, was, a top 20 player, sometimes a top 10 player in the world, and fun to watch, and always an interesting matchup. Now, for like, I don't know, I would say 10 years, he's been pretty much like somebody who you just beat up if you're one of the top players. It's like a nice sparring match. 39 versus 35, Switzerland versus France. And then we see here the obscene record of Federer, 1,247 wins, 556 wins. That's very, very respectable. Roger Federer, 130 million prize money, almost 19 million for Gasquet. Pretty cool, very respectable, of course. And then we get to the matchups. Look at this, guys. Madrid, 6-2, 6-3. This is in 2019. Australian Open, 6-2, 7-5, 6-4. Very routine. Masters, fairly close match, 7-5, 6-4. If you know Roger Federer, though, those are still pretty routine score lines. Then at the US Open in 2015, 6-3, 6-3, 6-1. Dubai, 6-1. In France, indoor clay, 6-4, 6-2, 6-2. Miami, 6-1, 6-2. I mean, this is absolute beatdown city. Very, very similar to what he did against Mannarino. 6-4, 6-3, 6-3, 6-2, 6-2, 6-4. Okay? It's not until 2011 that Gasquet ekes out a win against Roger Federer. Ekes out a win. So, very similar to Mannarino, if Federer does not absolutely put the beat down on Gasquet, you've got to, again, be very, very concerned. I mean, this should be a match that it's showing us on paper very clearly that Federer should destroy Gasquet. Supposedly, this is Federer's greatest surface. Many people think Federer's the greatest grass court player of all time. I don't know if I agree with that, especially since Novak's been dominating him the last 5 or 6 years on the grass. But, okay, let's say Roger's the greatest grass court player of all time. He's playing Gasquet. He should destroy him today if he's in any kind of form. But we know through the match with Mannarino, we have no idea what Federer's going to do. Let's be 100% honest. I have no idea. Federer can go out there, completely destroy him, or the match could go 5, or the wheels could be falling off. I mean, Federer just looked downright, at times, I hate to say this, he looked downright scared out there to me. His eyes looked very concerned, and it was kind of like, I don't know what's coming off my racket, man. I'm having a tough time hitting through the ball out here. That's what I saw. That's what I saw as a player and a coach. All right, so now let's take a look, though. The good news is even if you're struggling, if you're Roger Federer, and somehow you manage to keep eking out victories, you can keep doing it for quite a while with the draw he has. Okay, you can keep doing it for quite a while with the draw he has. Let's find Roger in the draw. Let me make sure I have the right part up. And there's Federer Gasquet. Right? And then he's going to keep working his way down this way. Can you see the thumb? Can you see my mouse here. Bolt, Nori. Most likely he'll play Nori. I would guess, just according to rankings. Nori, again, a solid player, no real big weapons, a solid player. Now, again, if Roger's not on his game, though, Nori keeps a lot of balls in play to where Roger could be tying the noose around his neck and choking, because Nori will make him play balls. But it is a match that Federer should be able to control off the serve, off the ground, coming to the net. If Federer's feeling good, he should be in control. But Nori is somebody who's going to make you play a lot of balls. So if Federer's not confident, that could be an upset, or Federer could go right through here. The Italian's very, very tough. Sangolo's very, very tough. This could be, to me, this could be a tough match because he hits, even though he's more of a clay court specialist, he's a big guy, hits a big ball. This, to me, is Federer's first major upset alert if this guy gets through to Roger Federer. This could be. Sam Querrey looks like he's going out. These guys, big servers, this is danger. But I'm not even sure if Federer's going to get down to them, okay? But you see, like, these are all the potential matchups that maybe he might play. And, Medvedev's down there at the bottom. And Medvedev could beat him or he could not. I mean, I think Federer's played Medvedev a couple times and just eaten him for lunch. Even when Medvedev has been playing some good tennis. Federer likes that matchup when he's playing well. So, it does look like it's a pretty good draw for Federer. If you're a Fed fan, you're not seeing like a Kyrgios there. Not going to have to play Zverev most likely, I don't believe. So, yeah, I mean, Zverev is actually playing amazing tennis. Zverev doesn't get a lot of press because not a lot of people really are that excited about him. But Zverev is playing amazing tennis, guys. Zverev's playing amazing tennis. Okay, let's see this, what we have. More comments. More comments here. Fed's draw is designed. Yes, we already read that one. Fed said, "I'll be careful." If George Ryan, if you were Fed's coach, what advice would you give him going in this match? I mean, there's not really any advice you can give Roger Federer that's going to change anything. It's like just keep swinging through the ball. It's kind of like a shooter who is off his shot, and what are you going to tell him, not to shoot anymore? I mean, Federer's just got to keep his confidence, keep believing, keep going for his shots. I would get to the net a little more. I think he gets into too many baseline rallies on the grass. I would have liked to see him serve and volley a little more. Maybe chip and charge a little more, but everybody's saying that the grass is playing slow anyway. So, I mean, it's really just a matter of Federer finding his confidence and being able to stroke through the ball and know it's going in. He doesn't know that at this point. He can go on little mini streaks. I've seen in Geneva, he had a nice little mini streak when he lost that match. He hit some great shots. French Open, he had some nice streaks to where he hit some great vintage Federer shots. I didn't see him play Felix Auger all day, all I've seen, but he said first set went pretty good and he won the first set. So, I mean, he's shown some of the vintage Federer, but he's also shown in every match that I can recollect so far in the comeback, with the exception of Istomin, he's been shaky. Shanky. I mean, that's got to go away. You can't be shaky and shanky off the ground and go in against Novak Djokovic. Or even Medvedev if he's on his game, because Medvedev sometimes can play like a Novak where he goes in lockdown mode and he doesn't miss. I mean, you can't miss a lot of balls and beat who's ever going to be there at the finals with you or going to be in the quarters or semis. I mean, once you get to the quarters and the semis and the finals, you got to play great. You can't just be sliding through like he did against Manarino. You've got to play great. Otherwise, forget about it. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying here. I think if he beats Nori in the next match, the tables will turn. All of a sudden, he's really an underdog in the Wimbledon of all places. I still believe he has chances. Best of five gives him a chance to figure out things. Yes, I mean, thank God that match against Manarino was best of five, and he was able to fight back and play some good tennis in the fourth. And, it was unfortunate what happened to Manarino. Yes, Federer hasn't played Gasquet on grass since 2007. Does that matter in a head-to-head matchup? Pete, I'm worried about Federer today. Is Manarino the player Federer played tough Monday ahead of Gasquet? I didn't realize Gasquet had dropped so low. Yeah, Gasquet's dropped pretty low for a while. Federer hasn't lost a set to Richard in 10 years. If he loses a set, I'm worried, hoping he heads up his yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, look, if Federer loses one set today, that's not good. I mean, make no mistake about it. Federer, for his confidence, for his fans' confidence, he needs to win 3 straight sets. That's what he needs to do to start going and believing that his magic is back. Otherwise, he's gonna be shaking his head going, "What's going on with my game?" I mean, we've if you're a tennis player, you know what that feels like. When your game isn't there, you just don't know what's coming off your racket. It's a terrible feeling, and as great as Roger is, I kinda think that's where he's at with his game. I think he does not know from point to point what's gonna come off his strings. Where Novak's the complete opposite. Like, he's got total control and mastery of all aspects of his game right now. Absolutely, you are right. I believe he should use this old racket. Interesting. I don't know if that's going to help him. Maybe it will keep the ball more compact and in, which is what has helped him in most of his grand slams. As you said, he does not know what's coming off his racket. So would a smaller frame help him because now it's smaller sweet spot, or would it, but it could help him because yes, you can swing through the ball more. I see what you're saying. You'll have more control of the smaller frame if you're able to hit the ball in the middle. And so that'd be very interesting, maybe, but I mean, that's not going to happen. He's not going to all of a sudden go out there with a new racket mid Wimbledon. That's just not going to happen. Dropping 2 sets to Manarino is a major red flag. I think that's it for Federer, says young whippersnapper. He's at Murray's level now. If his ranking wasn't protected, he could easily have lost first round. That's very true. I cannot argue with this, guys. If I were Federer's coach, okay, Ahmed says, if I was Federer's coach, I tell him to get the eye of the tiger back. His body language has been pretty bad lately. He looked nervous and dejected. Well, yes. I mean, obviously, you want to get that body language back, but that comes with swag. That comes with being confident. That comes with, knowing what's coming off your racket. I agree. I think it's a good advice to kind of fake it till you make it. Act like you're playing great, even if you aren't. And I think Federer's trying to do that. I mean, he's trying to do that, guys. He's winning some points and doing the Roger Federer fist bump, that patented Roger Federer where he does that a couple times and looks at his fist. I mean, he's doing that. But it's hard to go through a 5-set match and see things that when you're not playing well, you see it happen over and over again. It's kind of hard to look like you love what's happening out there, when you're like, shit, like what the heck is going on? I mean, think about this. This guy is used to being the GOAT. People call him the GOAT. He's got 20 grand slams. People think he's the best grass court player of all time. He's used to sailing through the first week of Wimbledon and he's used to clobbering Manarino. And so, it's hard to just have the eye of the tiger and act all confident when you don't know what's going to happen from shot to shot. Never count out Roger. I think he's class. He is a genius. I absolutely agree. Hard to have the eye of the tiger if you have no claws, says George Ryan. That's a very well put statement. So that's about it, guys. I think we've kind of said it all here. So to summarize, Roger Federer, if he goes out there and can clobber, as we're saying, Richard Gasquet, he could find his confidence really fast. It can happen quickly. Novak Djokovic for months didn't have confidence. Then he had, great result. Maybe it happened on one shot. Who knows when it happens? But whatever it is, Novak has his mojo back. Rafa started out on clay very poorly this year. You could argue that he never got it back because he lost to Djokovic in the semifinals. I disagree. I think Djokovic played great against Rafa, and Rafa still had a clay court season they can be proud of. He won 2 tournaments. He won 2 tournaments on clay, and he got to the semifinals of the French, and he didn't look very good in the beginning. So he got his confidence back and turned it around. Federer, if he goes out there today and crushes, he could get his swag back. He could get that swag back. But if he struggles, he's in trouble. The good news, just to state one more time, Roger's draw is a dream draw, especially if you were playing well. I mean, if Roger were playing very, very well, I would almost pencil him in for the finals, but he's not playing very, very well. So he's going to struggle round by round until he doesn't. And, but he has a chance to go far because the draw is very advantageous to him. Thank you, George Ryan. Yes, give a thumbs up on your way out if you would. I really, really appreciate that. And I wish Roger the best, of course. As you guys know, I love Roger. And I'm hoping for a easy Roger victory. I'm hoping he gets a swag back. If he does that, I mean, I think it'd be just so great to see a Novak-Roger final again. At this point, Novak is by far the favorite. Like, it's not even close. Like, to be honest, at right now, at this very moment, until things change, until somebody else finds their form, it's very early in the tournament. But at this point, it's the men versus the boys. It's the man, because there's only one. It's the man, Novak, versus the boys. That's what I'm seeing so far. So Roger and the rest of the field have a long way to go if they want to challenge Novak. That's the way I see it. Comment below. Let me know how you see it. Like up the video. Subscribe if you love tennis. And we'll see you guys on the next video.